Fuck your pride. Fuck your pride. Hey, so I want you to do me a favor quickly. I want you to think about a time at some point in your past where you let your pride get in the way of a decision you made or something you're doing, and where you sit there and you think about it and you're like, oh, no, this is ridiculous. Got it? Can you think about it? Even one example? Cool, I want to tell you a story. And I'm sitting today because this is a bit of a long one, but stick with me. It's got rock and roll, it's got famous people, and it's got me being a complete bloody idiot. Here's the story. A few weeks ago, I did a video and I was actually talking about saying yes to free gigs and why sometimes it's important. And this is actually a story that started off with me nearly not doing a job properly because, again, to some degree, I let my pride get in the way. I was invited to speak at an event last year, I think it was November, called the BCX Disrupt Summit. And it was an event that had like Malcolm Gladwell and will.i.am and all these cool big names. And through a bit of a stroke of luck, a slot opened up and I was asked by the organizer, an amazing guy by the name of Dean Carlson, if I would come and speak there. Me as a bit of a douchebag, I was charging, anyway, there's a whole other story around that. That's not the story. I was a bit of a dick, I nearly didn't speak there. Good thing I wasn't. So, I arrive and they say to me, and I've been booked and everything's cool, and then they say, hey, will you come? You're one of the speakers. Will you come and do the press conference? Now in my head, I'm thinking, they've got like the head of digital for Lego. They've got the Grateful Dead's chef, who's also the chef for Google. They've got Gladwell. They've got will.i.am. They've got all of these people and then me. And like, I just know it. This kind of event, I'm like the fluffer. I'm like the nice guy brought along for entertainment value. And I get it. It's a role. And anyway. So I'm thinking, no one's going to ask me a question. It's going to be embarrassing. So I go up and I walk in and everyone is sitting down, and then I see will.i.am is this big guy. I didn't actually know how he looked, but I conceptually, and there's this big dude there, and he's got this hat on, he's wearing all black, he's got these rad shoes, and he's sitting in the middle, and then there's a seat, and then there's a space, and they say, no, that's where you're sitting. And Rapalang actually was in a bit of a fender bender and couldn't make it. So now is famous person, famous person, famous person, famous person, very famous person, no seat, moat, gap, and then me. So I'm sitting there thinking this is humiliating and this is embarrassing, and anyway. They start asking the questions, and luckily Jess from BCX, one of the press asks a question, and I think Will answers it, and then they ask another question, and she just turns and says, Rich, will you field this? So I give this cool answer. In my mind, innovation doesn't happen when you start doing something new. It happens when you stop doing something old. And then will.i.am just stops and he says, so I'm sorry, I just want to stop for a second and just say that I echo exactly what that guy said. And I'm like, yeah, this is the shit. So I was feeling pretty good. And I think I was feeling quite bold. So a little bit later, this other lady asks this question, and then this other person answers it, and I disagree with somebody on the panel. And I'm like, hold on a second, I don't know if we can do this. And I say, I just want to, it was about, should, schools killing creativity? And I think, when was that their job, right? That's our parents' job. School's job is to teach your kids. It's not, just because we've tapped out, it doesn't make it their problem. And I bring this up and I explain. And I say, we need to take control, blah, blah, blah. Parents, this is your job. And will.i.am's like, again, I just want to echo what this guy says. And now I'm feeling like, yeah, I'm feeling really great. Anyway, so, and I told you this is a long story. I think we even know like the first third. So I'm sitting there and the press conference finishes and everybody claps and I'm undoing my microphone. I'm sitting there and I look up and there's like this famous groin in front of me. And I look and there's this guy and he looks down at me and he says, dude, your brain. And I'm like, oh my God. And now I'm like an instant fan, groupie, I'm everything. I'm like, thank you so much. It was amazing. Anyway, we end up chatting that evening. We get into a really rad conversation at the dinner that happened. It was super cool. We're talking about his business, some of the cool stuff he's doing. Unbelievably remarkable human being. Next day I arrive, I do my talk. It was cool, and then I had to leave and I came back. I was doing another talk, I came back and they were on stage and there was this kind of panel discussion. And they were asking people like will.i.am and Malcolm Gladwell and stuff, you know, what do you think we should do in South Africa to progress and things? And I was getting frustrated because these guys know a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff, but actually they don't really know about South Africa. And I didn't want to think about, I didn't care about what they think about South Africa. I wanted to know what keeps them awake at night, what they think about. I can do the heavy lifting in my mind of applying what they think about in their life to mine, if it makes sense. So I'm tweeting Aki, who's on the stage, Aki Anastasia, I'm saying, do this. And eventually, you know, he's a great guy and he kind of has a laugh. He says, listen, Rich is irritating me.
Where's Rich Mulholland, by the way? Where are you, Rich? Is he here? Oh, there you go. Well, stand up because I got your question wrong and I want to hear your question because it's a great question to the panel.
But what if we ask these guys what keeps them awake at night, then we can learn from that and apply that to what keeps us awake at night.
And Will just turns around and he says, that's what he does. That's what he does. In front of like thousands of people. I'm like, oh, this is amazing.
No, he did that yesterday.
That's how he rolls.
Drops nuggets.
So the question is.
Anyway, fast forward, part 3 of the story. So we're doing a book signing and photograph area. We're all standing posing for photos. People are waiting for a queue. And now I'm feeling like rock star, full rock star. People are queuing to have photos. And they put me before Gladwell and will.i.am. And it's rad because people like have to ask me for photos. Nobody gives a shit. They're just like, I'm the guy before the guys. But like somehow I got included in these cool photos. Anyway, as it happened, I had a third speaking gig that day and I had to shoot off. So the queue is going down and everyone's still kind of wondering around them. But I actually wanted to say cheers. And so I walk up. I didn't bother saying cheers to Gladwell because he didn't say hello to anybody. He didn't really speak to a single person. But I walk up to Will and I said, hey man, dude, I just wanted to say I've got to shoot out of here. I just want to say what a real pleasure is working with you. Thanks so much. It was amazing. And he says, my man. And he shakes my hand. He says, please, and this is the moment. He says, please, dude, you have to give me your card. We have to do stuff together in the future. Oh, so I'm like, you know, and so I take my card and it's like glowing and there we go. And I give it to him and things like this. I'm all excited. And in my head, I'm thinking, as I'm holding this card, I'm handing it to him and I'm thinking, he's going to lose this. He's literally going to lose your number in 2 minutes. He's all nice and polite now. He didn't have to ask. I'm sure he meant it well, but he's going to lose this card. He's going to forget who you are tomorrow when there's another smart guy. Ask for his number. And then I was like, no, you can't. And in my head, I'm like, ask for his number. Don't be a fucking idiot. The man just asked you for your number to do business together. You can turn around and say, hey man, I know you're busy. You know what? Why don't you also give me your number so if I don't hear from you in a few weeks, I'll reach out. He can't say no. He can't now turn around and say, no, I'm important enough to get your number. And he wouldn't because he's a great guy. But I didn't because I was too proud. I was too scared to look like this stupid little fanboy. And I come back to the office and I turn around to Don. I tell Don the story because obviously it's like a big deal, right? This is a famous guy and this happened to me. And I'm all excited. I tell Don and Don's like, did you get his number? I'm like, no. And he's like, are you kidding me? I was like, no, get his number. Like, phone the gig, do something, get his number. Don makes it a personal mission. He starts trying to get the guy's number. He's like, this is ridiculous. What is wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with you. And I do know what's wrong with me. And I was so frustrated that I got a tattoo. And I'm working on a project and a cool project with a guy you hear me talk about a lot called Howard Mann. And the project is called this. It's called Fuck Your Pride. I cannot tell you how often we don't do things. You can track so many problems in your life and things. And if you work back enough, there was one point where you let your pride get in the way of asking something. And I actually went to the tattoo store and I said to them, put fuck your pride on my arm, and they wouldn't do it. And so we came up with this FYP and they agreed to do that. And maybe, Derek, thank you. But I want to remember to never let my pride get in the way. There's no good reason. And in truth, I've now lost contact with a guy who could have been amazing. This could have been one of these power of unintended consequences. And in truth, we'll probably never end up speaking again because I was too proud to say to a guy who asked me for my number, hey man, can I have yours too? It sounds so ridiculous when you hear it, and even when I say it now, but I'm not alone. For me, that one story about will.i.am, there's probably 100 versions of similar pride stories. I'm too proud to do this, too proud to do that, too proud to boast about something I did on Facebook or things that have stopped me getting work, that have stopped me advancing my life, that have stopped me advancing the experiences that I can afford to provide for my family and for the people I love because of my pride. And so that's the thing. I just want you to have like FYP moments. I don't expect you to tattoo it on your arm, but I want you to tattoo it on your brain. That the next time you're sitting there, the next time you're in one of those situations and you find your pride creeping up, I want you to hear my voice or Howard Mann's voice. Howard, Tell me, say it in your voice.
Fuck your pride. Fuck your pride.
I want to hear one of us say to you, fuck your pride. I just spat. That's how passionate I am. Fuck your pride. Fuck your pride. Fuck your pride. Ask, and you'll get it. Bury your pride. Peace.
Hey, what's up? I'm Kuni from Missing Link. And if you liked this video, let's be honest, we know you did. Hit like, hit subscribe, share this thing.